Alright class, this is a demonstration on how to use a MegaStat to make a histogram. So it's pretty easy. It's kind of in a weird place. But once you have MegaStat installed, just go up here to MegaStat, and then it's this guy called frequency distributions. And then the one you want is quantitative. Maybe there's some stuff we can do in qualitative, but this is what we've been doing in class with the histogram in the data analysis add-in. This is sort of equivalent to that. Pretty easy. So then you just select your data just like you would in Excel. So you can click on this little box here and then find the data you want. So here's how many M&Ms are in your bag. Control Shift down, hit enter, and then that's it. So make sure you have histogram checked right here. This other stuff we're not going to mess around with. It says leave these filled blank for auto estimation, so that's what we're going to do. And that's it. Click on OK. And it generates a new page for you, right? And here's our pretty histogram. And I think it actually looks much better than than the PC sort of version. You have to mess around with the gaps. The gaps are already filled. And then it actually turns out it's smart enough to realize that these are all whole numbers. There's no fractions, so why should I sort of break it up into little fractions? And that was the problem we see in the PC version. We had like these whole big gaps in here. If you remember what we did in class, there was gaps. In this case there's no gaps, so it's nice and pretty. We still have the outlier out here. So let's do it one more time and take the outlier out just to see what it looks like without the outlier. So in class I sorted this how many M&Ms were in your bag from smallest to biggest, so that put the big 30 way down at the bottom. So again, MegaStat, frequency distributions, quantitative. And now I'm going to select all the data except for that last one. So Control Shift down, and then I'm going to lift the Control button up and move up. So if you're having troubles using the Control and Shift button on a Mac, I got a video about that. So go watch that. Enter, and click on OK. And there we go. So it just drops it right below the last one. That's kind of cool. So here's the last one. Whoops. The last one, and here's one, the new one, right? So actually it doesn't look a whole lot different. I just took the outlier out. So in which case, really, this one would probably be good enough. I don't have to really mess around with a lot of stuff. The nice thing about this is we still get to see where the outlier is. The shape of the distribution is really about the same. Because the intervals, it's smart enough, this is a little bit smarter than data analysis add-in. It knows that the intervals should only be one wide, no matter what, because these are whole numbers, and here's my range, and that kind of stuff. Very cool. So that's it. That's all you have to do to make a histogram with MegaStat.